Hey everybody, it's Mike. It's Saturday, December 4th, 2021, and with this video, I thought what I would do is to take you through my hub website, sageofquay.com, to help answer the questions I get when people ask, where can I find your content outside of YouTube? So if you visit my hub website, you'll find this box here, and then you will see all of the links to my other platforms. So the top left would be my main YouTube channel, which I've been operating since 2014. And then to the right, Brighteon, Odyssey, Rumble, BitChute. And then here, you'll see Sage of Quay blog, daily posts. So before I got into podcasting and hosting shows and doing presentations, I was a blogger. And I'm still blogging. So if you click this link here, it will take you to my blog. And here's the blog. And every day I post 10 new articles or videos that has to do with what's going on in the world from an alternative news perspective. Okay, so that's the blog, and I've been doing it for, like I said, over a decade. It's been a long time. Then I have my Paul is Dead channel, and this is where you can find all of my Beatles and McCartney conspiracy content here. And it's interesting, folks that know me from the Paul is Dead work, a lot of them are unaware of my main YouTube channel, and vice versa. There are people that know my main channel but have no idea that I have my Paul is Dead channel. Okay, so maybe we can bridge that divide today. And then about a year ago or so, I created the Very Best of Paul is Dead channel. And I did this because I was getting asked a lot of questions about where to start when folks were just becoming aware of the McCartney and Beatles conspiracy. And so with my Very Best of Paul is Dead channel, I uploaded my key presentations and interviews, and I numbered each of the uploads by episode number. So episode number 1, as an example, would be the very first Paul is Dead show I did back in September of 2016 with Sophia Smallstorm. And I think there are 53 episodes as of today. So again, the difference between my Very Best of Paul is Dead and my Paul is Dead channel is the Very Best contains key presentations and interviews, whereas my main Paul is Dead channel contains everything that I've ever done or talked about with regard to the conspiracy. And then to the right is my DIY or do-it-yourself guitar talk channel, and that channel is dedicated to basic guitar repair. I don't upload as much to that channel anymore, but there's still a lot of, I think, good content for those that are wanting to understand how to fix a guitar, how to do setups, how to fix frets, install pickups, and stuff like that. Okay? Spreaker is for podcasts. Mixcloud, audio only. I am on Patreon. I'll get to Patreon in a moment. I'm also on Twitter, as many of you know. I'm also on Pandora. And Pandora gets its feed from Spreaker. Now, the thing with Pandora, Mixcloud, and Spreaker, because they are audio-only platforms, presentations where I have a lot of visual content obviously won't be on those platforms because you won't be able to see what it is I'm pointing out or what it is I'm showing. So Mixcloud, Pandora, and Spreaker are typically interviews that I've done. And then about 2 weeks ago, I re-engaged my Gab account. I joined a few years ago, but it wasn't active. So now I'm putting some posts up and putting some content up. So if you're on Gab, you can find me there. And then the bottom row is where you can find my music. So to the left, this is my music site, laboroflovemusic.com. And then this is my Reverb Nation site, and then my SoundCloud page. Now, going back to Patreon a moment, I don't put up exclusive content in the traditional way. In other words, only the patrons will see that content and everybody else is locked out. What I do is for major presentations or interviews, I will post that content to Patreon about a week or two before that content makes its way to my other platforms like YouTube, Brighteon, Odyssey, Rumble, and BitChute. In other words, my patrons get a sneak preview. of the content before anybody else does. And the reason why I don't create exclusive content is because with the type of work that I do, it takes a lot of time. So as an example, when I'm doing some research into, let's say, the McCartney or the Beatles conspiracy, that can take weeks. And if I only make it available to my patrons, I think I only have about 30, then I'm limiting my reach to 30 people. Even though I love the fact that those 30 people think enough of my work to support it financially, I still have a responsibility to get that information out to as many people as possible. In other words, to a much broader audience. But again, what I will do is to ensure that my patrons get first crack at the content. They see it before everybody else. Now, the other thing I want to mention about Patreon is I don't want anyone to overextend themselves financially. And in fact, I recommend, if you are inclined to donate and make contributions, that you have a fixed amount every month, regardless of how much content goes up. So if it's $1, $2, $5, whatever it is that you're comfortable with, just leave it at that. Do not make your donation per upload, because that could wind up being costly, even though most of the content that I put up on Patreon, I put up for free, unless it is a presentation where I spent a lot of time on. So if I spent weeks putting something together, then I would charge for that on Patreon. And again, the patrons get first dibs at seeing that content about a week or two before everybody else. But the key point I want to make is I really appreciate the financial support. I do. But I do not want that support at the expense of you being able to afford it. Okay, so just be very comfortable with your donation. And if you hit a rough patch where you don't have the money, then don't worry about it. Stop donating. Okay, your financial stability comes first. All right, so for the rest of the website, you'll see that I have my recent song releases. So right now you see 5. Breathe, Rainy Day, I Know, Billy Pepper, and When You Gonna Get It. And When You Gonna Get It is a new release. I released that about, 3 weeks ago. And I'm working on a new song as we speak. It's titled Tell Me, and I'm hoping to have that out by the end of the month. So that will be 6 songs written, recorded, and published for 2021. Although I think Breathe was late December of last year, about a year ago, I think. Anyway, also on my website, I answer the question, what does the I within the pyramid mean? I periodically get questions or comments about why does your album cover on your first album, Leaving Dystopia, have the pyramid with the I? And I explain that. I used to explain it one-on-one in the comments section or respond to emails, but I felt this was a better way to do it. So I just point people to my website for the explanation. And then I have a blurb on my Paul is Dead research, and I have 6 presentations that I felt would be of interest to anybody who was looking into the McCartney and Beatles conspiracy. And then there's a link here if you want to really dig in and head over to my Paul is Dead website. Okay? Now, the last bit I wanted to leave you with is how I handle comments. And many of you know this already. I've spoken about this before, but for anybody who's new, I try to raise the bar in the comments section, which means I'm looking for mature, adult behavior. Critical thinking, free thinking. It's okay to agree to disagree as long as the dialogue is done in a civil manner. Anybody who comes here and is low functioning and thinks they're going to leave low functioning comments, it's not going to happen. All the comments go into a queue for me to approve. So, if you leave a low functioning comment, or it's obvious that you haven't watched the content and you're going to type out something nonsensical, or you're going to be nasty, then the comment is going to be deleted, and in all likelihood, that person will also be blocked from the channel. So my approach is to engage with those people of like mind, people that want to explore, people that want to discover, people that want to move outside of the paradigms that have been fed to them by the Matrix. And again, there's no problem with agreeing to disagree as long as the person conducts themselves in an adult and civil way. If you can't do that, and you're going to be low functioning, then your comment is going to be deleted and you're going to be blocked from the channel. And I receive comments and emails from listeners and subscribers who tell me that they are appreciative of the way that the channel is run and that we collectively are raising the bar on discussion. Okay, and so with that, that wraps up the video. The comment section is open. You guys have a great weekend, and we will talk soon. Thanks for listening.